So when we're weighing our materials, basically we're going to use drops. Yeah. So we're going to count drops. When we count our drops, hold the tube at an angle that's comfortable to you, for you, but always use the same angle, because that drop is bigger than that drop. So just get used to where you're comfortable and always use that angle. Never put the tube into below the neck of the bottle, because contamination. You'll end up with everything smelling of you animal. Yeah? Okay, so we drop in. And then we put the second material in, the third material the same way. Count the drops. When we come to mix, hold on to the table and move backwards and forwards and around, backwards and forwards, round and around, backwards and forwards.
Hold on to the bottle, not the table.
Yeah. When you're sure it's mixed, mix it some more. Yeah?
If you stand on one leg while you're doing it, it actually helps with the balance.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have these little mini sniffs, yeah? These little smelling strips, just to have, so you don't waste too much of your material, just to have a quick sniff and see what you think. They absorb very quickly, yeah? Now, the story of these mini sniffs is that we used to do we do workshops at university and with kids. And so when we go to the university, they would dip the perfume and smell it, and then dip the perfume in the other end and smell it, and then tear it in half and dip this piece, and then dip this piece, yeah? And I thought, well, this is crazy, yeah? We've got to stop this, because we tell them every time only use them once and then throw them away. So we came up with this was a cheap alternative. This was like offcuts of the smelling strips. And so now, yeah, they dip it, and then they go dip it the other end, and then they tear it in half. Really, and it's like, please, use once, throw away.
Rip the bit off that's got the perfume and just keep going down.
Yeah.
Steven, is there a difference if we don't use the strips, but we just smell it from the bottle?
Yeah, there is, because what you get is all you get are the high impact head materials that stay in the headspace, and you don't get all the materials evaporating evenly. And try it. The best thing is to try it with and without. The other thing is, smelling from the bottle, you're actually breathing a lot more than you need to, yeah, for the smell. So I don't recommend smelling from the bottle. Yeah.
Because this week you'll be making 50, 60 samples.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be smelling all of you.
Now, something you can do as a shortcut, which is okay, if you use a cocktail stick, you've got to stir, and then you can have a quick sniff from the cocktail stick. That's not too bad. Yeah. But the smelling strip is better for that. The cocktail stick also can act as a drop, like to make half a drop. So, hand, ta-da, smelling strip, sorry, and then you feed, and believe it or not, we've sat at balances for hours and hours counting drops and measuring how much 100 drops weighs to get the average. Half a drop. But alternatively, what you'll find is that sometimes you'll smell something like fruit in in this perfume, and the fruit fluorescence is far too strong even for half a drop. So at the
there and there in a minute.
On the two sides, there will be 10% solutions of each of them. So if you're finding that you're adding one material and it's completely spoiling your perfume, just one drop, then use the 10% as an alternative. Make sure you write your formula on a little formula sheet with your name on the top and whatever the perfume name is as number 1, number 2 as you go through. Yeah. How many drops you use? Was it 10% or 100%? And do we have labels? No. Okay. So, labels are in the post. So, we'll see if we can mark your bottle somehow so you know which one was number 1 and number 2. Yeah, try a marker. But these markers are whiteboard, they wipe off, but temporarily we can use them. Your liquid paper will act as a marker. Last year, was it March?
Last year,
yeah, in March, we had someone from Oman, yeah, who was sitting down at the sofa there, and he came over, and I said, "Wow." And he says, "Is it good?" I says, "Well, it's 1 in 1,000. This is like, this, you know, something like this," and got everybody else to smell it, yeah, in the team. Wow. How did you make it?
We offered to buy it from him as well.
No formula.
Didn't write it down. He said, well, I think they use this material, I think they use that. He spent 3 days trying to recreate it. We spent another 3 months trying to recreate it. Not happening.
Yeah. So
please keep a note of what you're putting in there. Take it with you. There's another way to do it. If you've got iPhone or something, I'm quite lazy, I don't like to write. If you've got an iPhone with video capabilities, materials, see 4 drops, make a video. That's how I do it. So I'm too lazy to write.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's a shame. And the other thing is that let's assume that 1 in 10 you like, yeah. The other 9 you're going to throw away at one time. But before you throw them away, always give them a last smell. Yeah, because sometimes you find a little treasure in there. It wasn't what you intended to make at the time, but when you go back, you realise, oh, it's actually interesting for something else. Yeah. So if you've got a formula, you can do it again.
So this week, when people are making samples, none of them go in the bin until at least Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.